Start streaming. This time I'm trying something different by streaming on TikTok and then streaming on Twitch. Oop, don't want that shown. Okay, that's working. So, hold on, I need to talk and try the volume at the same time, just to see if my voice is like doing well with the music volume. Okay, that sounds good. How do I listen to this one? I think that might be kind of loud. Hold on. Alright, now I'm fiddling with the TikTok live. I'm muting that. I don't want to hear my own voice, especially when it's like a split second later. There's my microphone. General settings. Monitor and output. So that usually lets me hear both. Well, it's harder to tell on this one. Put that back on the thing so I don't mess with what I'm able to hear. Okay. Just turn that down a notch. Done. Okay, I think that's all good. 1, 2. Okay, I just had to make sure that the Twitch was responding, because if I view it through the like Twitch website, it's like delayed by a second of me talking, so I have to make sure to view it through OBS, because that's the live interaction like how I have with the TikTok studio. Okay, that's all set up. What do I want to... Oh. I wanted to put that right there, but... I wish I could find... I need to see if I can... Like, because I know how some chats have... Like, this part where it's, like, completely see-through and it's, like, just the chats rolling down. I need to figure out how to do that. But right now, I'll just put it on my other monitor. It's been a couple days because I've been babysitting, so I need to see where I'm at. Just play it. Okay, so I haven't done... Did I not? Or is it stopped? Remove markers. Okay, I didn't finish it. I almost did. Okay. Okay. Really? Why is it always making me have to reset this thing? See, should just be on R. Is it on?
If English isn't your first language like me, and you want your writing to reflect your voice, sign up for a free
Okay, it
trial.
wasn't on.
I like to use their free
I think it
AI
went to...
features to help me draft.
It went to battery saver mode. And now there's my pen. Okay. recently too, I marked up my my shortcut remote, so now it's a lot easier to remember what is all like on it. Like the most something has same keybind is 3, and like one of them has the number 5, and then the right arrow, and then the letter S. Each one for their own little their key number. Welcome, welcome, anyone joining in. I'm just doing the line art for the sack animation test. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I'm towards the last part over here of the line art, and then I have to go in and do the top tassels and the bottom tassels, because I wanted to do these ones on a separate layer because I wanted them to have more of a drag to them. And these ones down here, I didn't want to have to worry about having them on yet while I was getting and fixing up the main part of the flower sack body. So once I get the this part, the line art done for the back and forth wiggling of it before it settles back into its resting position, and then I can go and start that process. And then once all the line art's done, I can go in and start doing the color. And if I'm not too lazy and I wanting to start a new project, then I'll try and do some of the shading, because I do need to practice that as well. Like this right here is kind of just like a practice test to get used to my key bindings for my shortcut remote, because I finally got it to work after years of it, or not years, but I've had this XP pen tablet for about a year. So about pretty much the year I've had it, it wasn't working until I figured out it was just having issues with wanting to work with Clip Studio Paint. Once I started being able to use OpenTunes, I was able to start doing key bindings, and I feel like it's sped up my work process a lot more, in the sense that I had a regular size keyboard, the 100% one, that has like the regular letters and then the num lock on it. So that was taking up a lot of space on my desk, that with having a regular computer monitor, the XP tablet as a monitor, and then the keyboard, I like had no room for it on there. So I at one point bought a 40% keyboard, and it was like gave me a lot of space extra. But hi KK, what you doing in here? You see your special role that I gave you? No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't think I gave you that power. I hope I didn't. Because now I feel like you're going to abuse that power. Do you like my setup, though? And I think this is so far the most people I've had in at once. Yeah, it was curious when I first saw it. Yeah, I got, Ashley had been on there, changed it. Why? I like this music. It's my whole streaming playlist. Is it too loud or just because you don't like it? Is it too loud or is it just because you don't like it? I don't. Yeah, well, I don't really like your type of music. I only know bangers. To me, I'll look it up. Hold on. This one? I don't know. I don't. Is this all that it is? It's just like the little whisper in the song? Why does it take so long to start? That's almost a minute in and it hasn't started yet. It's not. I'm not getting mad. It's just I like when things like start right off the bat. Like it's so. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know. It just is not to the beat that I like. I like something that I can like sing along to. I'm not gonna sing to this right now. No. I guess I don't understand it. I listened to Gasp XR and Sup XR. It's also too because I like need something more upbeat too when I'm doing stuff like this. Because if I get too bored or tired, then I'll just not want to complete the thing. So I need something that I can be like that encourages the rhythm of my sketching. Oh, is that you didn't even? If it's taking almost 2 minutes to get to the beat, it's too long for me. It has to like start off with the beat right away. I have too short of an attention span. I know it's a song, but if it takes too long to get good, then I go to what is good. They all 2 minutes. Yeah. And if it's taking half the song to like get to the good part, that's like wasting half my time I could be listening to an actual good song in my opinion. But I mean, it's your music, you like it. It's just not my taste. Whole thing is the good part. Differing opinions. I'll leave it at that. Oh yeah, did Ashley show you the Snapchat I sent her? Of what I did to my face? Oh, it was that I pierced my nose bridge. Yeah, that was. Well, that's my mistake to learn. I've got enough scars as it is, so if it adds one more, oh well.
Let's talk about AI color themes.
And then about the other ones that I have to redo.
Bright, minimalist, and sleek, or
Because because of my anatomy, I have to have a different type of bar in it.
Use the colors of your logo and let AI do its thing. Beautiful. Next up is the AI section creator. This is great for those website essentials like a contact section or a place to subscribe. Now, I'm running a sale, so
Do you ever think about going live, Kaylee, for like
I have a promo section. Functional.
I don't know,
and
like
beautiful.
for the process
Now,
of you
for the
doing
AI
your
text
edits or
creator,
anything, or
I got some
anything?
products
I don't
that
know.
need description.
Because
So
you've got
I typed in
like
some
more followers than
keywords,
I do, like
and
that
there
would
it is.
naturally get
I've
you
got
TikTok
copy that
live.
Now, let's see what the AI image creator can do. sometimes you just want to spice up your visual game. Type your idea and watch it turn into a high-quality image in seconds. You can have some real fun with this. If you need to tweak some...
Yeah. Didn't you have that external hard drive? Oh wait, but that wouldn't matter though because that's internal thing versus yeah, I know. I just realized that when I said it. Oh, I didn't mean to have that emote. Hold on, wrong group. And then I want to eventually, like for Halloween, give her a Halloween outfit eventually. What do you think I should make her as? I was thinking either a witch or I don't want to do oh, I was saying I want to eventually do a Halloween costume for her to be able to change to like different seasons and holidays for changing up the VTuber model. So I said, what do you think her Halloween costume would be? Do a pumpkin, obviously. Yeah, I could see that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wrong thing. I mean, that does go away from the cliches too, because I was originally just gonna do either a vampire, a witch, or like a pirate. But yeah, I feel like a pumpkin would be good, especially with her orange theme. Make me a cool profile pic for free. For free. Like, do you want to have an avatar like mine, or is it like, what are you wanting for it? Maybe that'll be your Christmas gift from me. Like an early Christmas gift or something. When I do live streams, I'm gonna copy, but make mine a South Park character. So, like, do you want to base similarly off of your South Park character from the game you had, or do you, I would say, when you have time, just, like, write down the, like, type of characteristics you want the character to have. No, I was saying I was gonna copy you. Like, what do you mean? Like with the art thing, or just like my setup? Oh, yeah, that's fine. It's the very easy thing. I have the app I use is called Via DoTube. I'll text it to you. Where you literally just need the main base body of the character, and then the faces. So pretty much it's 4 different faces with the eyes open, mouth closed, and then closed eyes with the same thing and all that. But I have my arm movement connected to the mouth. Well, you don't have to do it yourself. I'll set it up for you, but I'm saying it's a whole app that you gotta download. It's just 4 pictures that you need. It's pretty much just 4 pictures that you need, and then it sets up the audio thing on it that as you talk at a certain level, it'll move the mouth open. And then the thing I have over top is just like another picture thing. It's just like layers you pretty much gotta do. Oh, I forgot to fix that. Later I didn't realize because I moved. Wait, I could just flip it. Hold on. There we go. It's because I forgot I had to move this because of the setup how lives are. There we go. I fixed that. Okay, night. You can tell me more about the thing tomorrow and all that, but I can set up everything else. I just need the details of your character. I always confuse myself with the remote because even though I've had the keys marked down, like written on top of it, it still doesn't let me know what key I'm on. So sometimes I'll think that I'm on the key with the eraser, but it's actually the Control Z, so it'll like get rid of what I just drew. And welcome anyone new who's showing up. I was just talking to my sister earlier, so I apologize if I forgot to acknowledge anyone. I'm just currently drawing the line art for an animation practice. This whole animated sack jumping is pretty much just practice for trying to get me to pay attention longer to get projects done, because I just recently got OpenTunes, which was a free program, which that was my biggest problem with getting back into animation, was that I couldn't find a free program that was easy to figure out how to use. So with OpenTunes, I'm able to go back in to relearning the basics of what I learned in college, so I can eventually get back into trying to finish the animatic I started for my character Angelina and her kind of lover Connor, the Cinnamon Emperor, and I just clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. Oh, forgot to pause it. That one's a little thick. Unless... Oh, I didn't even fix these ones, did I? Oopsie. I'm further back than I thought I was. I forgot to do the line thickening for these ones. But yeah, I want to get back into animation to eventually finish discarded projects that I had, because I tried animating them while using Clip Studio Paint. Like, it does have an animation program, but I was doing it the difficult way by pretty much just making separate images that I would piece together. But it was just causing too much work to do, especially when it got to the scene of Connor walking in the jail cell, where I had to do a walking animation. But I had to, instead of being able to have stuff like onion layers and easy ways to flip back and forth between the layers. I had to like, oh, and I did that again. Sorry, I'm not angry. Ah. And I just lost my track of mind when I got distracted. Yeah, there was something I wanted to talk about too, because I had seen it on a TikTok about, I think, something about colleges and all that, or something. I need to find the TikTok about it, but I so wanted to talk about it because it had made me remember a story of something that had happened. Oh, I think it was a time when like someone like kind of like screwed you over or something like that, and it had reminded me of this time in a studio. What was it? What class was it? It had to do with being able to do video editing, like where we had to record the videos ourselves and edit it together. And me doing this again, and edit it into some type of video of our choice. But the sucky thing about it, it's always these types of projects that the teacher makes it a group project. Oh, I hate group projects because there's always something that goes wrong, and like everything seemed to go wrong in this project, where it was a group of 4. Oh, ads! I don't need you talking while I'm talking. Let me turn this down so I can hear myself a little better. Yeah, it was a group of class group of 4, or not class group, the project group of 4. But then immediately 2 of our group members dropped out of the class entirely, so it was just me and this other dude who was a lot older than me. Like, he was like someone who probably either didn't go to college when he was younger. Like, the thing of like you life gets to you, so you have to put any college aside and then go later in life, something like that. But he was like someone who was like really rich, and so he invited me to like come to his house so we could do the recording. And I'm like, yeah, sure, because it's like I didn't know where to record anything. I just let him take the lead on like what this project would be about. He wanted to make an Indian music video because he was Indian, and you know how stylistic their music videos are. So I went to his house. It was a big property. Like, everything looked really nice there. Even his son did like music, I think it was music or music editing. He had like his own like little studio off to the side. But yeah, so I did recordings where pretty much he was like the one in the video getting recorded of him singing to a song, and I was the one taking the video recordings because I didn't want to really be in it, and also it's like it didn't seem right to have like this random white girl in his video. So much, like, it seemed like already it was starting to become like his video. By it, I was just gonna be like the camera person, and then that goes by like fine, and all that fine experience, really fun. And then we get to class, and then we had to like make sure like everyone had like some type of like video like part in it of inclusion. And so he wanted to I'm gibbering over myself. We had to make sure each one of us had some type of like video inclusion. So he asked me to send him a video of like paint being thrown at a canvas, which also I don't know like what good angles to do for that type of stuff, so I'm trying to figure out, and also while having a strict family that's like, oh, they're not gonna want me throwing paint around and possibly getting paint like on anything, so that was a pain to do. And then I sent it in, and he apparently sends it back to his family in either family or like some type of like group he has who like edits his videos, and they did the video editing. And we get to the time in class where we're supposed to show the videos, and I see it, and it's this whole music video. Nothing that I had given him, not even the videos that I took for him, were in that video. I literally had to plead. Where it's like, yeah, like that the videos that did include him in his house, his yard, were like ones that I took when they weren't. They weren't. He had reshot those. So literally everything that I did that was supposed to be helpful in that project got thrown away, and he made his own thing. And I literally had to like make it seem like, yeah, I did do something. I did. Don't fail me. Like, I got sabotaged. Like, this is why I hate group projects. Like, it's nothing on like him and all that. I'm not saying anything against him, but it was kind of like, I feel like rude to kind of like, I don't know, like almost get me to fail the class because he threw away everything that I videoed for to be added. So I kind of got like a petty grudge against that. And it just like that TikTok video reminded me of that time. Because literally, if I would have failed that class because of that incident, I think I would have been a lot more mad and not as understanding. Because at least I passed the class and didn't get failed because of that. Because that was, I think, our final project, too. Oh, that school. That was when I was at Art Institute. The one that shut down from... I always get the story mixed up. I think it was some type of mishandling of funds, where they were starting to lose funding to their main programs. So they started taking money out of the FAFSA program meant to go to the students for housing and extra stuff because of financial difficulty. But it ended up going back into the programs until they run out of money from that. And they even tried to lie to us too when issues like this were popping up about how they sent out a whole email of like, oh, there's nothing wrong, the school isn't having talks about shutting down. Lies. Big lies. Because too, on the day that it was set to be like the last day, well, before that, I should go back to before that, where with talks leading up to, oh, there's having issues with the school, they're having money issues, I just like kind of, in one of my classes, I stopped trying. It was so at the Art Institute, it was 11-week courses that you would go to once a week. So 1 day a week, 11 weeks is a semester at the Art Institute, and sometimes you could have like half semester classes that are like more like I wouldn't say extra curriculum, but it was like the like smaller not general ed, because it was a psychology class that was 5 weeks instead of 11. And just in that class, like, I stopped trying because it's like, I don't know when the school is going to shut down, and it's like, am I even going to receive these credits if I put in this much effort to this class in the first place? And also too, like, mainly for the part, like, I didn't know when the school was going to shut down, so I wasn't going to put all this effort in, and then they'd be like, oh, you're done, there's no more class. But like, it was, I think, the 10th week of that semester is when they ended up shutting down, something like that. And on the last day, it was so funny because they like tried to make it not known that it was the last day by having a class as normal. And the class I had that day was a speaking class, like one where you learn how to public speak and kind of like voice acting as well, to be able to change your dialect and pitch a voice to better emulate a wider range. Hold on, I have to wait for this ad to. I can skip it. I hate ads. Go away.
Try Gain Scent of Oz in stores now.
Go away. Really, it's a double ad.
But Gillette Labs treats my face like a passion project. Tell him, Dad.
Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, on the last day I had a voice acting class, and we were supposed to have been broken off into groups, another group project, yes I know. And we were supposed to go into empty classrooms and practice voice lines from a Three Little Pigs book, something like that. I can't remember the book exactly. And so we were practicing unbeknownst that technically we weren't supposed to be in these classrooms, because they were afraid if students found out that the school was about to, like, this was the last day it was going to be running, that they were going to steal the computers or the Cintiqs. I mean, I'm not saying if I would have known this, I would have left the classroom open, but I am saying that those computers and Cintiqs, they didn't even offer to bid to the students. They secretly bid them in a secret lot without telling any of the students. So, yeah, I would have left the door open for someone to take something if I would have known. The thing is, too, is I'll just keep this, too, because it doesn't accompany my rage for this school towards the end. Where the school store, it was 75% off. And even then, people were still, like, stealing stuff from it. So it's like, if you're going to steal, like, mess with our education like this and lie to us, then we're going to get some compensation for it, is pretty much, I think, people's mentality from that. And I think they even had police in the parking lot at one point to make sure things like didn't get too out of control, because there were people that were quite upset too, because it was the 10th week and it wasn't a finished course. People that were set to graduate didn't get to graduate. They literally spent 2+ years there only for their pretty much to be screwed out of a diploma. And there was like a whole lawsuit thing with our Art Institute where you could either choose to keep your credits and have them transferred to a new school, but you'd still have your the debt you like left off with that school, or you'd get the compensation from the lawsuit, but you wouldn't get any of the credits you spent years working on, which I think is like bull. And obviously I kept the credits because 3 months or I kept the credits, and then I took a break for 3 months. I went to Arizona to visit my grandparents. And like during that time I was under a lot of stress, because also during this 3 months a lot of stuff went on in the family that I can't speak of right now. But yeah, it like stressed me out so much that I didn't get a period for those 3 whole months. Like, it was bad how much stress I was under from all that drama. That pretty much the moment I got back, I think it was the Monday after I got back around, I think a Friday or so. Friday or Thursday. And then like that Monday, I was already re-enrolling in a new school, Platt, where instead of going for an animation bachelor degree, I went for an associate's in graphic design, because they didn't have animation at Platt. That's the whole reason why I chose Art Institute in the first place, is because Art Institute had an animation program, and I wanted to go into animation because that's what I was encouraged to by family to do. But like I had mentioned on prior lives, the whole reason too that it was also like a blessing in disguise to not continue towards my bachelor's at Art Institute is because I didn't have any of the proper tools. I didn't. The only computer I had was a Surface Pro, and it only had 8 gigabytes on it of internal RAM. So anyone who's done graphic, what am I doing? Oh, I actually had the eraser color on. Where if you've ever tried to do any type of graphic design on a small like laptop or computer, your computer runs like a potato if you try and do anything difficult. It's also with the thing too at the time when I before you get into the animation part of the program, you go through simple graphic art stuff like character design, color theory, and stuff like that. And I only had a Surface Pro, and I didn't even have oh, and also storyboarding and stuff like that, where I didn't even have a stylus pen for the Surface Pro. So I literally was doing character design with a mouse pad, with a mouse track. Hold on, I want to pull up a picture of what I ended up drawing. Let me see if I can find them. Need to move this. In fact, I don't even need to do that. I'm getting used to too being able to easily add sources, because I'm used to the making it harder for myself by moving everything to side and side clicking it. Hold on, I'll pull it up in a second. Maybe I should, hold on, do it the other way where I do a display capture. That's not what I want. Sorry, I'm having difficulties. Window capture? Okay, there we go. Where pretty much... Oh, you're gonna be that difficult with me? How lame. Hopefully you can kind of see it, where they're very stiff in their designs. But, I don't know, I think I did pretty good with only having... Oh, now you're stuck on there. Why are you there? Where I was even able to draw the characters. Because what I had to do was draw lines with the trackpad. Or technically, I would draw the character first out with pencil. And then I would import the image into, I think I had Photoshop at the time that I had to pay for because the school couldn't offer any programs for free. I don't know why. But literally we got no programs for free. We had to pay out of pocket for everything. And I would draw it with a semi-thick line. And then use the eraser tool to thin it out to what I wanted. and it was like just a back and forth process of that just like consumed so much time. Like it backed up my process of creating stuff. And then what was it? Because we had a lot of programs before I actually got to the actual animation part of the class. Like literally, by the time the school shut down and all that, I had just barely tapped into doing 3D modeling and 3D animation. Like we just did bounce test, walking animation, and it was all on the lowest level where not even any good graphics are put in. It's all just like the bland base character model. And so a lot of it too, because also before I even started the actual program itself, the Monday after I graduated high school, I started a fast track program that that Art Institute offered. That if you took it, you would get credits taken off, or technically like added, I guess, to your thing, to your what you need to complete it. So it like how to explain it. Pretty much like it just gave you extra points so you didn't have to take as many classes when the actual course started. And like this one was like 4 weeks, like about a month. Because I don't know when colleges like usually start, like how people usually start after high school, since I like obviously started the Monday right after. So yeah, I started that fast track program first. I learned more techniques in, it was like mainly traditional art is what we learned in that course, where I learned more about painting. I learned we took, sorry I burped. We took pictures of the outside parking lot, and we would have to recreate those images with like monotone. I just say monochrome. I think it's monochrome. The word monochrome colors. TikTok's trying to say that I'm not doing anything, that I'm just sitting here. And even I had mentioned this before, but the lady who was our teacher during that course, she worked at a printing press. So she took us to her other job, because being the art teacher at that school for the fast track program was only a side gig for her. And so we learned how to use the printing press, of how they used to, in the more olden days, make the printing press for the newspaper. We got to printing press our names, and even scrawl pictures onto metal, like the metal carving, or like more like scoring, because you're not really carving into it. It's like you get a sharp metal stylus and kind of just like press indents into it, into the metal, and then you would ink it up and then put it into the press. I have a couple pieces of art still from that class. Sorry, I keep pausing because I keep getting distracted about which layer I'm on. Goodness gracious. I wish on this remote it had like a little light indicator to show which one of the four, because you can have up to 4 different key layers on this. It would show which one you're on, instead of just having to like continue to because the only time I can really tell what it's on is if I'm like cycling through it, and down here it's not showing on both screens, but like down in the bottom Wait. Okay, I was making sure that mouse was showing up on the TikTok one, because it's not as active on the one I have on Twitch. But yeah, I already forgot what I was talking about. And then while I was talking, welcome to anyone who joined in. I tend to get distracted in my little rants and forget that I need to welcome people. Because right now too, this is the most people I've had so far on a live at once. Usually it's like 1 or 2 people joining real quick and then hopping off. So I'm glad to see people are staying, enjoying what they're seeing. Even though I'm just kind of on the boring part of doing the line art. Thickening and thinning lines to give depth. And then eventually I gotta get to the bottom parts and the top little tassels. And I feel like I'm just gonna copy paste this one because I don't like having to. Like, that's where I get lazy with the resting poses, where it's like technically best to like I think it's best. I don't know, anyone could say differently. To like redraw it so it like gives the animated resting instead of it being as if you were to make it like a 4 frame instead of a 2 frame. But just for the sake of saving time. Oops. So it's not the same. I was wrong. Just because it's moved over? Hold on. What did I do? I think it just got messed up. It's pretty much supposed to be that same one. So yeah, so I'm gonna just keep that one there, because it's pretty much what it was meant to be. And then now it comes back up. And then when I get in the zone is when I go quiet. I mean, that's probably more appealing to hear than my gravelly voice going, Oh yeah, and then yesterday there was a power outage. It was like one that was like scheduled and all that, but my stepdad didn't let us know ahead of time. So all of a sudden, while my phone's at like 15% in charging, all the power ends up going out. And my sister, cousin, and niece are all in my cousin's room. And all of a sudden they start like freaking out, like, "Oh, it's the power out, power out!" And they were all like thinking like something was wrong. And then he's like, "No, it's like it was supposed to happen." And so technically, he said it was only supposed to last a few hours, but that stuff didn't like power didn't come on until 6 a.m. the next morning, which I was not happy about that because I listened to white noise to sleep because I cannot stand hearing the natural sounds of like silence in my room. And also too, I had our cat that night because I'm having to keep an eye on her because she's got a hot spot on her belly. And I'm currently using a hot spot spray treatment to help it because when or more so because it keeps getting super sweaty, and that's making her irritable towards it to try and tear off her soft cone. Because without the cone, she would not leave that hot spot alone, and it was getting to the point where it was bleeding. And this is just like a regular thing for her, where seasonally she gets these allergies that give her hot spots, and it's either we try to either get her to the vet to get her a steroid shot, and like she's like good until next season. But I wanted to try something different this season to see if we can like remedy, like trying to like avoid a high medical bill like each year. And I think I found so far a good method of keeping the soft cone on her and cleaning it with, because she's a fat cat, so she's got a bit of a pouch that droops into the litter box when she goes to the bathroom. So she gets like a bunch of litter stuck on her, and that's gonna cause an infection. So I have to clean her off with hold on, I have the bottle right here. Oh no, my cords are stuck. Hold on, I have to disconnect for a second. Okay. Microcin AH, the cat wound and skincare. I use that to wet the wound that had the cat litter on it, and then I would, sorry, I burped again. I would clean it, and then I would apply the hot spot spray on, and then try and keep her on her back for like a little bit until it like mostly dried or absorbed in. And then I would let her sit in this cardboard little box that I have from a pallet of Monster that I bought. Or it's not really a pallet, it's just a 24 case, I'd say, case. This cardboard case of Monster, and she would just chill in there, and the cardboard would help absorb any of the extra like sweat or whatever it is that accumulates in the hot spot, along with letting the hot spot stuff just sit on her it's pretty much a wound. Sit on her wound longer without it being absorbed into like the carpet and all that, or onto my bed. Just is that another one I forgot? Okay, that's another one I forgot. See, another thing it's teaching me is that I need to go back and check my work. I swear there was another story that I was trying to remember that I wanted to talk about too, about back in back in my first college. Well, I mean, there's second stories from my second college too, like a good one to bring up right now during spooky season is while I was at Platt. I think I was there. I don't think I was there. I don't think I was there more than 2 years, because I got to skip a lot of classes because of my the credits that I had from Art Institute transferred over, and I got to test out of a good majority of those classes. So I think I was only there a year and some months before I graduated. But during October, the school has, or not just October, but like during Halloween and all that, they have a costume contest. And one of my things is I love Halloween. Not as so much in recent years, because no one invites me to go trick-or-treating, and the place our house is doesn't have a sidewalk, so it's very dangerous for kids to trick-or-treat in our area. So we don't, like, the most that we've gotten, like, was I think last year, and that was only like 4 kids. So it's like kind of like bummed out the spirit of me wanting to dress up super scary, because growing up, as soon as I was able to start choosing my own costumes and like making them, I was like trying to like outdo myself every year for how scary I could make myself and how realistic it could be. To the point where like people were asking me if like those were real wounds that I had. And so that year I was gonna be I had taken, hold on, let me start that over. That year I had planned, like, I didn't really know what I was gonna be, but I had not really taken, because they were kind of giving it away. At Art Institute, at Art Institute, they had a section that was for culinary students, and so when the school was shutting down, they were giving away these extra aprons that were like too big, like no one wanted them. They were like almost like a triple X type of bakery thing. They were like what was left over, because like no one was that size. So I had taken it. I'm like, oh, I'll find something to do with it, especially because like it's all white, long sleeves. I could take off the Art Institute logo and like tie some belts on, or not tie, but like sew some belts into it and make it a straight jacket. So that's what I decided to do. I bought white contacts. I did the whole, oh, it was a pain with cruddy needles to sew leather belts onto the jacket arms. And then I rolled the jacket in dirt, covered in the fake blood I had, also mixing with little different colors to add a little bit of depth. And then I practiced making wounds with, I think this is the year I wanted to try homemade scar stuff and all that, where it's like the flour and Vaseline mix with your color foundation to make the skin tone color of it. So I did all that. And I even like kept in my pocket my phone, like playing, I think, like scary noises. And I wasn't expecting to win, like not even like maybe I was expecting to win like honorable mention. So like that was like my expectations going to it, was honorable mention. And so we do our little catwalk thing, introducing our characters and like trying to show ourselves off of like what we look like. And then we go sit while the judges judge and see who like wins first, second, third, and honorable mention. And then they come back, they go third place, forget the name, second place, don't know the name. And then they do honorable mention, and it's like none of them are my names. I'm like, oh, okay, none of them are gonna trying to do the thing. Like none of them are gonna be me. And then all of a sudden they say first place, and then they say my name, and then I freeze. I'm like, they gotta be talking about some other Bryce, right? Gotta be. Ain't no way. And then I see the people on the other side of me, they're looking at me, and it's like, wait, no way. Like, I won? Like, there's gotta have been someone better than me. And then we go in, I think third place got 25, second place got 50, and then I got 100. And that was like the most, the happiest one I got of a Halloween contest. I did at a family Halloween contest win second place after someone dressed as Cruella. That year I was at the family one. I was a burnt witch, where I had liquid latex and tissue paper as like torn away skin above the bridge of my nose, like above the kind of like along the top half of my face, over the bridge of my nose, and then all below was like all charred, nasty, and disgusting like that, bruised, all that. And even the dress I had was an old witch costume that I had cut apart and resewn into a little bit different of a design. And then yeah, pretty much that. And then I won second place with that, underneath some. And I think I was 18 at the time during this party. And the second place prize was a bottle of alcohol, which obviously I wasn't old enough to drink, so I gifted that to my grandpa for Christmas. And also, even if I like was sneaky, oh, even if I'm not age, I'll drink it. It's like, no, I don't like alcohol. So it's like, even if I was above age, I would have gifted it to him anyway. Okay, I missed another one. See, I get impatient and then I end up missing layers. But yeah, like having to reminisce, however you say that word, about back when I was in college. Like makes me remember all those times about like happiness, fun, stress. The most stressful class I think I had was math. I used to be a math girly, but that was only like with like basic math. I like basic math. I hate numbers, or no, it's math is numbers. I hate letters added to math. 'Cause I hate having to do the guesswork of what this letter means. It's like, just tell me and I'll do the math. But yeah, we had to take a general education class though, like for all our basic things of like English, math, and stuff like that. And math was my most hated because it was a self-study class. Like pretty much the teacher didn't teach you anything unless you like begged for it to be taught to you. Where like the first day of class, pretty much we were directed to this site where we would take a test to see where we were. And even though I had just ended high school, I think it would have been a couple months by then. Like even that like small amount like made anything I had learned go out the window. So I did like not well on the assessment test, but also too I was in a 4.0 something. What's the thing that like IEP turns into when you get into college? I don't remember. It's like a 4.0 something. I had that where it's like extra time, but like no one honors it. Like it's always a thing you have to like continuously go out of your way to ask for. And then it's the same thing with like if you need help and all that. It's like you should be teaching us. We shouldn't have to like continuously seek you out for these things, because pretty much the whole 11 weeks, because yeah, this was again like still the same process of, oh, you have this class 1 day a week for 11 weeks. So like especially with math, if you're having 1 4-hour class for 1 week, for 1 day out of a week, you're not going to retain, or at least myself, I'm not going to retain none of that, and I'm just gonna like continue to like not be good on those tests. And that's how it was. So literally, I took to wearing a hat to each class because I knew I would be silently crying. Where's the thing? Where is it? There it is. I would pretty much every class cry at some point because for one, I have like the social anxiety of a solitude fish, and so like pretty much going out of my way to like ask for help on something that I'm not understanding, and especially too because it's like they don't understand the questions I ask of like to better my understanding, and so it just makes me not understand worse. So it's like I regret even asking you in the first place, because like I don't know if it's like a dyslexic thing or not. Where's my mouse? Did it die? No, there it is. But there'd be way the questions are phrased that just make it not be understood. Like I'll think I have like aced the question so well, but then it'll like be the total opposite answer, and it's like that's not what it seemed to ask. Like it's like a tone thing. Like I don't understand the context in which it's like being asked, so it like confuses me because I like interpret it my way, and apparently my way is like usually the wrong way. Like I wish I could like remember an example, but also too it was a hard time as well during that time during math, like when I had the math course, because we had that class around pretty much it would have been around this time / November time. Nope, yeah, this time, because it was around the time my uncle first passed away, so I was dealing with and also a friend from elementary school. She had, I think, I can't remember if it was an anniversary for her at the time, or if she had just been like it's sad to say, but she was murdered, and it was pretty much a grievance day around. It was like a whole like in the same week was her grievance day, and his the day he died, along with also being my aunt's birthday. It was a whole roller coaster of emotions, where it's like I had to focus on a subject that I hated, while also trying not to constantly break down, because there was a lot of loss during that time. So yeah, I hated that class. And then I think I almost failed that class too, where I had to, I think it was taking so long for me to get to certain milestones to finish. I had to even take extra time out of the past the 11 weeks that we were doing that class to pretty much get a passing grade, which I eventually did. But that colleges need to stop that. Don't do self-taught. Like actually teach math. But yeah, I just hate self-taught classes because it reminds me of the 3D modeling class I had, where again, it's the struggle of having one class for 4 hours out of 11 weeks, that if you miss one of those 11 weeks, you're pretty much screwed. And the teacher I had for 3D modeling, because the reason I think I either missed 1 or 2 classes, and that one I think was because I was like really sick, and the other one I think just because I I didn't have a ride, and like I lived like 30 minutes from class and didn't have a car myself, so it's not I couldn't drive myself. So one day was that, and the other way when I was sick. But like just like that alone, like I was literally I think 1 point away from failing that class. So that's literally why I don't also like it was literally 11 weeks, once a week, 4 hours in the class. Like anyone who could pay attention for a straight 4 hours. I mean, obviously we had like you'd have like brain breaks and all that. Because obviously, yeah, who's gonna pay attention for 4 hours straight? But even then, like with the breaks and all that, it's so difficult to have so much time on one subject rather than switching between stuff like throughout the week. Because it was a full week schedule. There were other classes during that week. It wasn't just like one class. It was like 3 classes, 3 or 4 classes, depending on how much you had stacked and all that. Because you had to have a certain amount of credits at the end of each semester. So you got like to pick what classes you want because you had like of what you had to complete. Oh, did it again. Of classes that you had to complete to get a certain amount of credits, and you got to pick which ones you took in which order. So pretty much I kind of like avoided math until I couldn't avoid it no more. Because also too, they did morning classes, noon classes, and then nighttime classes, which was like a 6 to 10. And so you could like double or triple stack stuff and be like at school like from 7 or 8 in the morning till like 10 at night. And it's like really tiring having to stare at a screen for so long. Even in what class was it? I think it was either my 3D not modeling class, but the rendering one where you're given pre-assembled 3D models and you have to work on lighting, textures, like texture mapping, and the rendering. Welcome, anyone joining in. Wow, there's 23 viewers. That's the most I've had so far. Happy to see everyone here enjoying the time of us just chilling, talking, me complaining about my old colleges as I wait for this ad to go away. Double ad, go away. But yeah, as I had mentioned earlier too, I want to as well make my PNG model a Halloween costume, and even other holidays as well, so I can switch to them and be on theme with what the season is. Oh, and I also need to work on not saying so much. That's like one of my flaws, even back when I had a debating class, because that was also part of the speech part, or I think like an offside to it, because there was this like vocal practice, and then there was a speech class where you would write essay reports and then have to debate them against someone else. Like someone would have the positive side of the subject, and it would all have to do with animation, and someone have the negative. Like one debate I did was, is tweening considered animation? And obviously like the whole class considered tweening animation, but someone had to have the non-side, and obviously that was me. So I had to do the argument of why tweening isn't animation, even though that's not what I believe, but you gotta do it. And obviously I didn't win because, Yeah. But I wasn't mad about that because we all knew what the outcome was going to be in that debate. And then I think also in that speech class we had to I can't remember what the subject about, but I did an essay that I did a speech on about how a lot of scary symbols in horror movies and all that actually have a different meaning behind them. And I even did the whole how there's different meanings behind the upside down cross. How it's like St. Peter's cross and all that. And I brought a childhood cross that I had from when I was little, and I held it up upside down. And the guy in the front row, you'd think I had fire coming out of my head from how terrified he looked and how he was backing up in his seat, trying to get away from me, and how the blasphemous way I held the cross upside down. Like, he was horrified. And then welcome anyone popping in.
This video is for you. As a pharmacy student, I had one exam at least every 2 weeks, not including labs or assignments. If you struggle with time management like I do, Grammarly can save you a lot of time. This is how I use Grammarly as a pharmacy student. First, go to app.grammarly.com and click New Doc. From here, Grammarly can help you brainstorm initial topics for assignments. This is so helpful as it saved me so much time whenever I had writer's block. It also has a paraphrasing feature that can help your writing sound more academic or professional, and much more to make your writing tailored to your
And then I'm also live over on Twitch, where I'm recording this, and I'm gonna post it to my YouTube. I don't want to start right there. Because it's a little, I feel like it's a little more challenging to stream over on YouTube unless you already have a following. So I want to start by posting videos over on there of the live streams I do to create content on that page, and then eventually, when more traffic starts entering that page, is when I can like switch between when I stream on Twitch, and when I stream on YouTube. Because there's a lot of things too that's like that I need to keep up with on YouTube. Like before I start streaming, I need to do in the posts of like when I'm going to be doing scheduling, which that's always at random. Because literally it's only like streaming when I have extra time. Because during the day, after 2 p.m., I have to watch my niece and sometimes my nephew. So I can, and then I have to, during the day, I help take care of my disabled mother. So I have to, like, find a time at the end of the day, like, around, like, here from, like, when I started streaming about 10? Like, 9 something, almost 10, I started streaming. Until, like, whenever I feel, like, too tired, because I have to, get up at 6 to make her coffee. So I try to get at least a few hours in, of like at least 3 hours of streaming. Because also too, it's teaching me patience of needing to sit down longer to complete something. Because that's something I struggle with like once it gets like a little too not stimulating for my brain anymore, I'll want to skip to like the next thing that catches my interest. Come on, are you dying? Stop. I think it's just because I've been playing too many things and my mouse keeps freezing. Oh, is it a hold? Yeah, it's a hold. And then really the only thing I need my keyboard for, hopefully, because I want to eventually try and get as many key bindings as I can down to shorten up the process of not needing to go back to my keyboard. Where I only need really like the Control C to copy and Control V, which I know can be real easy to keybind, because I think I have one more. What am I doing? Okay. Okay, there it goes. Because I think I have one more open key level. I just don't want to create too many that I'm cycling through that I get like lost easily. Because even like now I get number 2 is where I keep all the facial changes of like this and all that. And so I'll sometimes like forget I'm on that one and be like, oh, why isn't this drawing? And then I look up and it's like cycling through all the expressions and landing on angry because I'm trying to erase something.
Step into Wix Studio and turn your blank canvas into a creative playground. Pre-designed assets and templates
What am I
don't
doing?
just
What's wrong?
inspire. They bring sites
Come
to
on.
life faster.
Up. Because it wasn't on the
Drag a
black
section,
anymore, it was
drop
on
any
the
button, and watch as they adapt across devices.
clear erase one.
Now, make them yours. Remix, reshape, and edit until every element lines up with your vision. Step into a world of inspiration. Step into your studio.
Oh. Gotta skip. There we go. Welcome, welcome, anyone popping in. Which one was it? What did I put F on? It's that one. Nope, where is it? Nope, there it is. I'm curious how other people animate, like, when it gets to this part where you gotta do the special, the thickness of the line art. Like, if they try to keep the, line art more, the same, size, or if they try to differ it more like this. Kinda that's a thing more, I don't know, I'm just rambling. Trying to find something to chat about.
The Tempur-Pedic breeze makes sleep feel cool, so no more sweating all night or blasting the air conditioning. Because the Temper Breeze feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long.
So that's one thing I
Find
have,
coolest thing with the Temper Breeze collection. at an
one of many
absolutely near
problems
you.
with is keeping talking. Because, like, in my head and all that, like, oh, constantly going on stories, rants, talking to myself. But then when the moment comes where I have to, like, actually speak those thoughts aloud, it's, like, all jumbled. Oh, I paused it. It ends up all jumbled together and, like, this, like, all stuttered out. Like, it's almost like more of a chore to have to, like, make the words come out. That's why, too, at one point I wanted to, I was learning sign language so I wouldn't have to talk. Like, I was teaching my, my niece and nephew a little bit, because also, too, this was in the stages of when they were, like, 3 and 1, and the younger one hadn't started talking yet. It was, like, kind of almost talking, but, like, not talking yet, and so it was hard to understand what he wanted. So I taught him a little sign language to make things easier, but then he found it easier, too, to rather sign than talk, so I had to stop signing around him to encourage him to talk more. It's like, little man's knows, but society don't want to follow. So I kind of, like, stopped that, kind of, like, put a pause on that journey, because it's, like, it's kind of hard to keep up with wanting to learn sign language when no one else around you is learning it. Like, you need kind of, like, someone to bounce off of in conversation. Like, that's why I can't learn different languages, like, on, like, things like when I used to use Duolingo or, like, other sites like that. It's, like, something you have to, like, kind of, like, ingrain into your mind. Like, how when you have, like, when people drive and, like, you get, like, that zoned out thing, but, like, you end up, like, perfectly driving home. It's, like, instinct of being able to just, like, well, like, do the hand thing, do the hand movements, and it connect in your brain about, like, what it's saying, or, like, what you're saying. Cause I've tried, like, I commend people who can learn another language. Like, you got the smarts. Like, my attention span goes from, like, it's like the thing of, like, the jack of all trades, where it's like, the jack of all trades with the master of none. I know a bunch of, like, little tidbits and small things about stuff, but I've not, like, mastered any of those talents. Like, I do painting, but I know I make a lot of mistakes where I get lazy in doing the prep work for the canvas to, like, make you not have to, like, work as hard to make sure all the little dots are covered in paint. Like, the best thing to do is, like, to get some I think it's slightly watered down paint, and then you brush it over the canvas to help fill in all those divots from it being a only partially rendered gesso canvas. Before, because, like, when I did do that for the first of the one of three, or not one of three, because I'm doing a painting series that's gonna consist of 3 acrylic paintings. The main one I have posted on my TikTok, where it's the one of the skeleton head, and it's supposed to have 2 other pieces connect to it, one above and one below. Hold on, I might pull up that picture, but I have to, I think, blur a little bit of it because TikTok doesn't always like me showing it. But it's gonna have 2 images, or not 2 images, 2 canvases, one above, one below. The below one is gonna show pretty much like semi-censored breasts. Like, it's a breast, it's like 2 breasts, but the come on, stop freezing, mouse. but the nipple area is like covered by bandages shaped in a cross to show pretty much like religious purity. And then right below that is a bunch of torn skin leading into showing of a rib cage, and then nestled between the pelvis and the rib cage is a glass fish dome, but it's supposed to be like a desolate fish dome that's all empty. But to like make it all cutesy, it's gonna be the SpongeBob houses in there. Hold on. What did I name it? Hold on, I'm trying to find it. If my mouse would stop freezing. No. Yeah, I could show that one at least for right now. Really? It's being difficult. Let me see if I can do it on this. Really? Come on. Oh, where'd you go? Found you. Trying to run away. I get it. Twitch can see me upload to touching my piercing. Twitch can see me uploading it, but TikTok's gotta wait a second while I save it as an image and put it on the other screen, because it's saying the image is too big. Okay, and then I gotta pull it up on this. Hold on. You can kind of see it, where this is the main image of the skeleton and all that, and then it leads down into this one where it's like this, and then that's supposed to be like each little part's like supposed to mean something. And then there's the SpongeBob little desolate dome in the pelvis, and then up here I want this, like, compared to like the two down here that have so much going on for them, I want this one to like be very minimalist, of just like the hands that I have on this one, like of what it's like coming to, because this one right here is supposed to be all personal meanings of like what's personal to me, like the little baby skeleton hands, and come on mouse, stop, and then the hand with the heart in it are both times that I've gotten cancer, and then the missing vertebrae is the vertebrae that they took out, and it like disintegrated on the operating table, so I no longer have that vertebrae. It's now these two fused together. And then this little glowing thing is supposed to represent when I was born, the umbilical cord is wrapped around my neck. And then all the dark teeth in here are supposed to represent my like bad dental journey, where it's like I still have my wisdom teeth, they're all impacted since the age of 16, but because of me having the medical issues with my spine, they don't want to do anything to me in the dental office because they're afraid of like jerking my neck and like hurting me. So I can only get my wisdom teeth taken out at a hospital. But the thing is, the hospital, they're not qualified to do dental stuff, so they need to commission a dentist, but no dentist wants to go to the hospital to do a single commission. So like no one wants to do it. So I'm stuck with the occasional pain of them like trying to push their way forward. And then the moss and mushrooms to symbolize like stagnant in life. So like other life's growing on you. The metal plates on the eyes like continue to smile even if you don't want to. And then yeah, there's just like a lot of meaning in this. Okay. Back to this now. Okay. Where's this one? Oh, come on, stop freezing, mouse. I think I need to
Step into Wix Studio.
widen this one
From one platform.
because I don't like how it goes
Map out your project with an AI-powered
like that
visual
without
studio
any
that
distribution.
generates site structures and wireframes.
Also, I need to get rid of.
Not days. When your client's on board, dive into design. Create freely, customizing even the smallest element. Use site styles to seamlessly extend the brand to every page, and watch it adapt across breakpoints. Now, scale your creation. With
And that's where I have issue with it being flat, where I know I'll be able to
hundreds of dynamic pages.
fix it in this part of it.
More functionality. You're ready to take them further. Plan faster, design freer, scale smarter. This is Wix Studio.
Well, I'm all being distracted by an ad. Bring it out a little bit more like that. Welcome, welcome anyone joining in. I feel like I need to bring these ones out a little bit more too. Like slightly. And then I feel like soon I want to do more readings for Love and Deep Space, like of the cards that I have. Because I feel like I need to add more variety of what I'm doing instead of like just this of when I'm able to, but like other things to keep my attention on continuing to stream. That's fine. Put this in between. I feel like I need to this a little bit more. Okay. I need to fix that one. And I think that's one thing they need to fix in OpenTunes is when you're on the transform tool, it's to not as easily have it like click off of your selection. Because literally I'll like, it'll be like a little millimeter off of one of the selected points to manipulate it. And it'll like click out of the specific selection I have. And I'll like have to like continuously go back into it, or... Because even like doing the back key doesn't like get you back into your selection. So like if you try and like, yeah, it'll just backspace to the prior image you had before transforming it. And I think that's a flaw that should be fixed, or at least like a button that can be like pressed. Hold on. No anti-aliasing. What does that mean? Is the no anti-aliasing, I think that's how you pronounce it. Does that mean it's not gonna make it blurry when I transform it? That does. I should have clicked that a long time ago. Okay. I feel like I need something between here and here. And that's just me adding more stuff. Hold on. Need... Come on. Yeah, I think I do. And then I need to move it down because it's moving up too much. Okay. And then I need to finally fix the lining on this one. Okay. Welcome, welcome, anyone joining in. like I need to. I mean, hold on. Yeah, I think I could change this one. Wait. I had to make sure it wasn't tied to it. Try and get it a little more in between each other. Wish it would stop freezing. Come on, mouse. Hold on. I feel like it's getting skinny too fast.
Close watch on his spending helps him resist temptation. By tracking spending in the Wells Fargo mobile app, James wins again.
I think it's too because it's spinning.
A man who works hard,
It's going from
sweats
flat
hard.
to
Swagger fights
that.
So coach thought I was slacking. You see this?
Flat, flat.
So I trained constantly. Took my old spy swagger
Fix this
and
one
got
a
a
little
drill
bit.
named after me. The triplet.
It's like one I just like tossed in there real quick.
Broke a record. Broke my leg. Broke my record with a broken leg. Until coach said
It will break
I always
another
lost
leg.
to
Go away. Okay. So I need to widen the base a little bit, I feel like. And then I might let's see how this does. that one so low? Where is that one? I think that's as good as I'm gonna get it. I want to see it on a run through.
Get ready to rise with more shine. Introducing the all-new Sealy
Ads,
Posturepedic
go
collection.
away.
Now at
It does not feel like I've been almost streaming for 2 hours. And if I missed anyone, welcome to anyone joining in. A little bit. See, it always clicks off. I don't know if you can see it. You kind of see it. Or if you don't click in the right spot, it clicks off of it. Hate when I overdo the lines. The thing is I may complain about the stylus, not Silas. Got lad's brain. Even though I complain about the stylus, it is a world better than when I had to use a trackpad. I hope to never go back to that period of my art career. But I think too, I'd like have the similar mentality when it comes to certain art forms. Like, I like acrylic because it's got like a good waiting period before it dries. Like, it's like not instantaneous, like well, I mean, it's like one of the more quicker ones.
Dad, this guy
How to
thinks
explain
that we
it?
act like Gillette Labs is some miracle.
I don't know, I like
It's just
the
another razor?
pretty much how it's like forgiving, how you can like stack layers on top of each other once they've dried, and that it dries rather quickly, but also if you add enough water, it gives you some time to work with it. For me, watercolors blend too easily, and I always like end up oversaturating the paper, so it ends up pellets or tears or anything like, or stuff like that. And that's even when I have like the good like watercolor type paper and all that, and also like Copic markers. Anything that's like not really like as forgiving when you make mistakes, I don't like as much. Even like pencil on paper and all that, I get iffy with sometimes because I'm more heavy-handed. So I tend to like end up with darker lines. So when I go to erase something to do the line art, there's still like lots of visible sketch marks. So it's like it doesn't look as nice as when I see those other people online doing them. So I mainly just use that for like getting sketch ideas down, to take like poses and stuff like that, and then bring the images into Clip Studio Paint to actually do the art form I want on it. Actually, I moved that over. Is that doing the same thing? Oh, that one's good. What was I saying before I got distracted? Welcome, welcome. Anyone joining in? And then one fault I have with my art is that I get impatient rather easily. Like with a bike that I recently painted, I bought a used bike from the thrift store, and I wanted to customize it to be a base color of not fully navy blue, but kind of like a deeper, darker blue. And then put a chameleon color shift over it. The first round of that Yeah, the first round of that, I ended up spraying the blue a little too thickly because I was making sure to get all the nooks and crannies because I was also too impatient not to take the bike apart first because it was a mountain bike. So it has the gears on it that are like the spiky ones for like that little side gear. And I didn't want to I know how to take it apart now because I redid the brakes myself. But yeah, I just pretty much sprayed it on all together. And so I had to like go in all to the nooks and crannies and make sure it got an even coat as well because the color paint was also a rust resistant. So I wanted to make sure there wasn't just like random points of rust on the bike. And then I think, yeah, it started dripping and I'm like, oh, great. And I can't remember how long I waited. I know I didn't wait long enough though, because when I put the color shift onto the blue, it pretty much mixed into, like the color shift mixed into the blue, and it kind of made it almost like a frosty color. So I literally had to get more blue blue like paint for the bike, and kind of like chip at the points that were too thick to like thin them down a little bit, and then do as even as I could base coat of the blue, and then force myself to let it dry before adding the sparkles, and it looks so much better now that I waited. Like I can literally tell where I went wrong with the first try of it, because it was like almost like a frost that had mixed with the blue in the first go around, and now it actually looks like the dark blue I wanted. It's not really much as a color shift though. I think it's because I didn't do it on black, but it just like makes it more look like just sparkles. Welcome, welcome. Anyone popping in? And then I did a similar thing on my helmet, but again, I got impatient and I tried to pick it up to move it somewhere else, and then I ended up dropping it on like upside down, so it's the top shell ended up landing in dirt and making it all textured, and oh, I was so upset. I literally wanted to just like dump that whole project. But I mean, it's my fault for like touching it when I shouldn't have. I mean, I use the bike now like as often as I can. It's like my mode of transportation. And then because I watch my niece and nephew sometimes. My niece, she goes to school. And sometimes now with my sister having moved out, it's sometimes harder to find rides to pick up the younger one. So I keep offering, I'm like, I'll ride my bike over there with the bike carriage and pick her up, because I got her excited about it. When I first got it, my step grandma, she's pretty much my stepdad's mom. She wanted to bring the two younger kids, my niece and nephew, to go get ice cream at Baskin Robbins. And I'm like, oh, but I think it's because we didn't have a car seat one needed a car seat. We had a car seat for him, but we didn't have the older one's booster seat. So I offered to drive her down there on my bike. I have a helmet for her that I got when I got the bike carriage, because I knew I couldn't have her in there without also having a helmet with her. And it took like a whole back and forth, because also the younger one wanted to join as well, but his mother said no. So it had to be a fight of, are they both going in the car, or is one going in the bike carriage while the other one rides in the car with grandma. But eventually it got to be where I got to ride the older one down there in the bike carriage. But then I rode my bike back as she got driven back in the car, because I was not about to lug 20 pounds of child weight up a hill. So yeah, so she got to have the experience of being able to zoom down a semi-hill. Cause it's like not, cause there's like two hills. There's like one that leads like very steeply down to where like a trolley station is and all that, and the other way leads to like a partial decline to get to the Baskin Robbins. So she was able to like zoom down there fast and have fun that way, but I have to be very picky with where I ride her, because I'm not the strongest with doing stuff like that. So I sometimes like have to end up walking the bike in the carriage when it's like gets up to more uphills. Yeah, but whenever it's my stepdad's like, oh, you need to call so-and-so to make sure she has a ride. Welcome, welcome, anyone joining in. And when it's like difficult to find someone, we eventually do and all that, but it's like, I'll like jokingly offer to pick her up in my, the bike carriage, and he'll like start like freaking out, cause it's like, oh, no, that's so dangerous. And it's like, it's fine. There's another parent I see who literally has their kids on the back of their actual bike. Like it has like an extra little seat thing where they can like sit behind them. It's like, at least I don't have a thing where it's like if she decides to, she's mad at me, she'll like throw herself off to the side and we both collapse on the bike. It's where she's in a whole like little separate little carriage that has like, it has not blinkers but like the road light thingies on it where it's like the reflectors. And it's also, I'm riding it during the day. It's not like I'm riding it at night with her in it. I posted about this on my Snapchat story, but I had mentioned, I said, this is why you shouldn't leave me and piercing needles alone, like while I'm bored, because I will end up finding something of my body to pierce. Like out of like boredom, and also just like the thing of like curious if I'll feel pain in that area, because because of the surgeries I've had done on my back. It's like a gamble if it's gonna be the part of my body that feels extra pain or feels like little to no pain. Like if it's my hands and stuff, it's like I feel less pain in that, where literally I used to have this thing where I would fill an empty milk jug. My face hurts, I just pierced it today. I can't really express much. Where I would take an empty milk jug, clean it out obviously, and then I would stuff rocks into it, like gravel rocks, and then in between that I would get either dirt or sand and like kind of like pack it in between, so it was like a solid brick of like dirt and all that. And then I would hang it by a rope into a tree, and bare-fisted, whenever I was like kind of like either angry, stressed, or like anything of like big emotional feeling, I would go out there with my headphones on, and to the beat of the music I would start beating on this like pretty much almost like a solid rock with bare fists until either like it hurt, like not really that it hurt too much because it didn't really like hurt per se. Like yeah, it stung when I would hit the rock, but it's like I could still like go harder until it was pretty much to go until I'd get like a bloody knuckle. And I know that would be bad. Like, and one time I ended up jamming my wrist, and for the longest time, whenever I would like sit back on it, my wrist would it would suddenly dislocate. So I would literally like limp-handed would have to bring my wrist up and like click it back into place. And eventually, on some of those clicks, I would accidentally pinch a nerve, so it would start hurting. So I'd have to like either like hit my arm with my other fist, or smack my arm into my desk or a wall until the feeling went away, because physical pain like felt 10 times better than that aching pinched nerve that I had when doing that. It doesn't do it as much, but I found it like nothing was broken from that experience, but I did tear a tendon in my wrist from punching a milk jug filled with rocks. And when I tell other people too the story of like that I used to like do that, they look horrified at me. It's like the same thing when I tell them that, like, you know those like shocking lighters that use as a joke to like people use their thumb to click it and all that. For me, I found enjoyment in either holding it into my palm or against my my wrist and just watching my fingers twitch, like watching the electricity from like it wouldn't hurt, like it would a little bit sting at the point of contact, but like it didn't really hurt. It just like was cool to watch like my fingers look possessed and like everyone like looking at me in disgust of like that I could just so easily pretty much miniaturize tase myself in amusement. And I think just it goes into like the nerve damage and all that, where it's like I like to test my limits and then see how shocked people become, because it's like they've never even like wanted to even try testing those limits of pain. It's not even a masochist thing and all that. It's like I want to see like how bad the nerve damage is and where it affects. Like if it's my face, oh, my face is like so sensitive. Like I barely even wanted my ears pierced and all that because of like how easily there is pain. I'm surprised he was even able to get the nose bridge piercing in, because I thought I was gonna give up, but I got it in. We'll see if it rejects or not. I hope it doesn't. But yeah, like even like I don't think I could do my tongue, can't do I have my first hole pierced and they're stretched into 18, the 18 gauge, the big one. And then I have my second hole pierced into I think a 0. I had at one point, I had 4 holes that like 2 were done at Claire's for my 6th and 8th grade graduation, and the other 2 I had done myself with a sewing needle, like alone in my room. Again, people leaving me alone with needles. TikTok thinking I'm not doing anything. But yeah, even my mom never wanted me to like gauge my ears. Like no one wanted to. They were all like, "Oh, you're gonna regret it. What if it breaks?" I take care of my ears. My gauges are like one of the prides I take care of. Like I will fight off anyone who accidentally like tries and like hooks their finger into the hole. Like my niece and nephew, when they like to play wrestle with me, they'll grab on me from behind, grab on my head, my hair, all that, and they'll like sometimes hook their finger into my gauged ear, and I'll literally like, I'm like, I'll fall with you, like I'll fall on you, because I will not like jerk myself away. Like I'll fall like how you're supposed to like with like crocodiles and all that. Like you roll with them, like latch onto them, roll with them. That's what I do with the kids. Like you ain't getting within an inch further away from me until you get your finger away from my ear. Cause like I ain't about to end up needing to go to the hospital because one of y'all decided to tear my ear out. But then occasionally sometimes I'll like get a little lazy with taking the gauge out and cleaning it. Because if you don't, one thing, if you're not a gauge, like if you don't have your ears gauged, is that you need to take it out occasionally. Because dead skin and all the gunk of like whatever product you use builds up and kind of like creates kind of like a sore. It's like when like patients don't like move in a bed long enough, they get like bed sores. It's like a similar thing, where it's like if you don't clean the ear occasionally, they get stinky, they get sores, and then those sores eventually, if you're like when you finally take it out and you let your ear dry too much, because it's like you finally like start like smelling the stank and all that. Not for me, like I don't get that bad and all that. It does get sores sometimes if I get a little lazy with cleaning it, or if I like accidentally keep them in and don't dry them after taking a shower. Because like I have to take them out for a shower and then dry the earlobe, then reapply. I use Vaseline with vitamin E oil in it. But if I forget to do stuff like that, the process I mentioned happens where skin buildup increases and sores increase, and so I'll have to literally keep the gauges out. The gauges the size I used to be at was at 25, but I had like I said, let it get too sweaty and sore, so I had to take it out and let it shrink to an 18. So right now I'm at 18, but I do eventually want to go back to a 25. Which I do that by I take the current gauge that I have and I slowly wrap PFTE tape or like plumber's tape around it to just until the point of it feeling snug in my ear, and then I'll wait a couple days. Welcome anyone joining in, before trying to increase it again. Like you only increase it a couple more layers once the current size you have in your ear starts feeling loose. Like if it still feels snug, unless you're confident, I wouldn't like try and wrap any more PFTA tape around it to like push it bigger. This is also a recommendation for anyone who's trying to like break the barrier of getting to 0 and 00. PFTE tape is your best friend. PFTA tape and Vaseline. I don't think that's not the method I used to get to it, because I have good earlobes that were like good to me and like stretched very nicely, and I even didn't take as much time as they recommended. Didn't get no keloid. I almost got a keloid where I started going too fast with I think it was the PFT tape, and I started noticing that there was a lump forming on the back when I was checking on the sizing if I could go up again. So I literally quickly backed down of unwrapping a few layers and pushed it in the opposite way. Like I would originally push it in from like outwards into like from outwards of like where it's like you're just like touching the outside of your ear to like where the inner part is, where it's like touching your kind of like inner neck and all that. That's how I usually would do it. But to help like push the beginning formings of the I think it was keloid, or I think it was the beginnings of blowout back in, I was pushing it from the back forward to try and like push it back in so it would like absorb back into the thing. Luckily it never did create a blowout. Thankful for that. I would have been so sad if it did, because then that would just have proved the people right who are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's like, nope, I did it. And even recently when I was at a, not recently, it was like in May, where I was at a baby shower, and I had stretched back up to 25, and then my aunt comes up to me, she's like, I thought you said you wouldn't go any bigger than, I think I said, what was it? I think at 00 I said I was gonna go no bigger than, but obviously 25 is way bigger than the 00 if you know gauges. Welcome, welcome, anyone joining in. I'm just doing the line art practice of a jumping flour sack to get me in tune with what I'll need to do when I start doing my actual animation projects. And then eventually I have to, once I finish this, I have to switch to doing my acrylic painting, like how I had shown earlier. Anyone who wasn't here earlier, oh, me frozen. Anyone who wasn't here earlier, I was showing the painting I'm working on, which is a 3-part painting. I have 2 more parts of it left to do, the bottom part and the top part, because they were like ones that I added later. So it's like add-ons more than like what was the original project intended, because the original project was like just the main skeleton, and anyone who wants to see the skeleton, and also the 3 painting canvas that goes along with it, can go look at my page where both videos are. Okay, let's go a little thinner. And that's where I have like the line thickness blindness, where I literally have to continuously go back to make sure I'm not like making it too thick, because that's how in the beginning streams was happening, where it'd be like, this is what the original line was, and then I was actually like making like lines this thick. Is that a hold? I think it is. Okay. No, that's not. Ah! It's not what I wanted. Oh, needs to be a 3. Hey, we're now at 40 viewers. No, it's not what I want. Okay. So one difference in the process, if you just copy paste the layer as is, it's just gonna add it as like extra frames. But if you if you circle it first with the selection tool and then copy that and paste it, it does its own frame dot. I think I might change that to 2 once I get back into it. And then I need to put, I think it's where I had issue. So that this should be more. So it's like more in between. Okay. I think I need to squish these a little bit more, because I don't like how it's gonna be a pain too. Is that a 3 holds? Hold on. They are all hold. So I didn't redraw this twice? I did. Oh well. So it means I gotta do it from up here. Okay, just doing little fixes. Okay. Nope, it's not what I wanted. Why is it doing that?
At Cox, we're always a step ahead. Like how the price of your plan won't go up for 3 years. Guaranteed. That's refreshing. Ooh, s'mores.
Lock the price of your plan for 3 years. Just another way we keep you a step ahead.
Life can be difficult
Okay, I
sometimes.
think I'll have to
If you or
get off
someone you
soon
know
because
is
I gotta
having a
do
hard time, the 988
late
Lifeline
night
can help.
dishes.
Call the 988 Lifeline today and receive
Why is
confidential
it-
support from a local counselor at no cost. That's 988.
Why is this being weird? Start them up here. Okay, I think that's better. Because the way I had it starting, it was confusing me. Okay. So goes the big pounds. Well, that's good for now. Okay. I'm gonna try and stream tomorrow after my niece is gone. Because I feel like I'll have more time then. But I think 2.5 hours is good for now. Thank you anyone, everyone who joined in, the total 40 viewers. I'm very grateful that you all stayed and joined. No, I think let me wait a few more minutes so I can get this achievement. 4 more minutes and then I'll end. There's 4 more minutes and then I get a reward for 10 minutes of views. Gotta take advantage of that. So probably by the time I finish this one. I feel like I should make them taller now. I'm gonna make this one taller. Why is this? Okay, I think I need to get an in between for the, or not in between, not in between, but like, kind of make them. Thought I already fixed this one, but I guess not. I think it's also too because Just go with that for right now.
Hold up. Why am I dressed like a girl?
For insurance. We have no idea what type of work this guy is into.
I gotta say.
Okay.
She gon' do her best. I might pull up with the rest. Sapphire on my neck, got rubies on my chest. From this bank, they can't catch this check. Under pressure, know my boy gon' watch my flank. I'm tryna offer him a gesture. He was climbing stole all his cars and turned them to Jester. Yes, I'm a collector, put him up on my dresser. And give him halftime, 808s like the error. This might prove to be problematic. She's tryna hide the truth. I bet she's got the key in the attic. I'm up some type of magic. I'm pressing X to combat it. She's acting up, she lied to me. She took my beats to my hammock. I took the key to her passage. She not too sweet when fanatic. She moved her feet up and down while I hit the feet in a panic. I got 2 feet, one hermetic, one public. He felt their matters in private. She wouldn't get that, won't have a jive. She gon' do her best. I might pull up with the rest. Sapphire on my neck, got rubies on my chest. From this bank, they can't catch this check. Under pressure, know my boy gon' watch my flank. T-shirt cost an arm, watch it cost a leg. Ignore me constantly, I feel like I got you upset. I am not placing.
Yeah, I don't think the small details of the stitching will matter very much.
I'm good at suckers than my own thoughts. Don't look at me, go and cut your own loss. Take your own advice, try to be your own boss. It's for your betterment at no cost. She gon' do her best. I might pull up with the rest. Sapphire on my neck, got rubies on my chest. From this bank, they can't catch this check. Under pressure, know my boy gon' watch my flank. I'm tryna offer him a gesture. He was climbing, stole all his cars and turned them to Jester.
I think I'm using the similar method I used to before I had the stylus, where it's like I draw big and then erase to what I want it to look like,
And with shout-outs
which is
in the
probably a
Wells Fargo app,
counterproductive
she knows if she's crushing her savings goals
method.
too.
I'm not sure.
However you make money work, we can work with that.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Success doesn't follow a formula, and neither do you.
Who knew that dancing with dogs could actually become a career?
Planning ahead,
I knew that the experience was going to start.
Oh my God, caught her sending hearts, going through my phone, tearing us apart. Oh my God, this isn't who you are. You want this to end, so this is where we start.
Oh yeah, you know how with iPads, like people who use Procreate, how they'll sometimes have the like special screen, like it's not really a screen protector, it's like called a paper screen. I cannot stand the scritchy sound of those. I don't know how people like the sound it makes, because it just sounds like you've got something stuck on your stylus. It's going scarf, scarf, scarf. But like some people, like they feel like they have to have to have it with their drawing thing, like doesn't feel like authentic or something. My thing is like, how you stand that noise? Like even like now with the tablet I have, the stylus I have, the tablet's fine. Like I'm not, the screen doesn't cause anything. But like sometimes it'll like get caught on something and start making that scratchy like the scratchy noise. And so I'll really have to stop everything that I'm like drawing and all that, and like try and get it to stop making that noise. Because usually it's like just because like a piece of dirt is like stuck between the thing, like dust or something. Because like it just like adds like a little vibration or something between your hand and like all that, and it just grosses me out. It's like the thing of like shovels on concrete to me, where it's like scratchy. Like I can handle like this, like my cousin, she hates the sound of like the electric candle lighters, like the little buzzies. But like I'm fine with that. But if like you bring, like they said, like the drawing tablet screen or shovel on concrete, disgusting. Okay, I think after I get this one done, I'm gonna
taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
hop off
It's Tom, actually.
Right.
so I can finish dishes before I go to sleep, because I've been
How have we got to town?
doing
Huzzah!
this
A toast to breakfast.
since
She
like
saw the
9.
difference and picked the real deal. It's got to be Tide.
So I kind of skipped out on that to do this as a continuation, because I got excited when there was more people joining than what I usually get. Because usually what I get is just like 1 or 2 that pop in, and then they're gone within like the second. Or be that one like random weirdo who'll just pop in to say something mean, and then pop away, and it's like, yeah, you're getting blocked. Like, that was unnecessary. Like, obviously I know they're trolls and all that, but it's like, I don't want that kind of negativity, like, anywhere near my page. Like, that's always something I like with watching more famous streamers. I've always wanted to try and emulate the communities that are like positive, uplifting, and always helpful to each other type thing. Like I even got to come up with what to call UChat, because like people even have like little nicknames for chat and all that. It's like, that's what I want. Just like a little community I can curate. But that's also something that's like to be hesitant about, because it's like you don't know where your stuff is gonna end up, like who's for you page. So literally, like, you could be best intentions, but then the algorithm does you dirty because you said one thing, and then it's like all these, yeah. I'm getting tired. It's hard to talk. It's already 1 in the morning. And then two, eventually I need to come up with an outro screen and then an intro screen. So I have something to transition, so I'm not just like, okay, bye guys, and then click the end live screen. So it's like something that can transition out. But I think now that I've been streaming for, wow, I mean, ow, my face. I mean, I'm almost at my goal, pretty much, of streaming for 3 hours, so. So I think I thank anyone who stopped in tonight to say, or no one really said hello, but my sister, but just like pop in, watch stream, chill, listen to music. Hopefully it was a good music choice. My sister didn't like it, but hopefully other people did. And then eventually too, I want to, before October's over, get her a little Halloween outfit, which I'm going to be following my sister's suggestion and making her a pumpkin. Because also my other choice was, besides the witch and vampire one, was some type of like orange cinnamon drink. Because of like her and Connor, her being oranges and him being cinnamon. Like a little couple's costume. But yeah, thank you for joining in tonight, and good night.
I just wish you were more than memories. I got kids now, but I'm a kid now.